Awesome, thank you, Taryn. Much appreciated. Right. Hello, Martina. I'm going to sit here for a minute and see if any people turn up. Oh, we've got people already. Is that first VF Netcast? Hello, nice to see you. I think I need to turn the screen brightness up a bit. I can't see what I'm reading. There we go. I'm just going to hang on for a couple of minutes and wait until some people are here. This is a very spontaneous production. There is no production. I'm literally just here and my trackies just turned up for you all. Sophia, hello. Shanna, hello. I'll sit here and smoke a cigarette. Trish, help you? What do you need help with? Hello, Kay Wood. Shanna, Gnosis Tarot, hello. Ellie Zen, hello to you too. What was that? Tippy Hedron Collider. Megan, hello. Great to see you all. Oh man, I've got eyes like a hawk, but for some reason I cannot see what's written on here. Alice Gorgeous, hello. Melissa, Forever Evolving, nice to see you. Cindy, Max 11 how am I? Oh, well, that's why I'm here, actually. I thought it would be easier to get you all in one place and talk to you in one go. So that's what I'm doing. There's a terrible lag on my screen. It's about 5 seconds behind, which is really discombobulating. My word, we've got loads of people in here now. That's fantastic. Tell me where you're all from while we're waiting for people to turn up. We've got Florida and Oregon. Kaywood. Don't be stealing my thunder, Kaywood. That is why I'm here, yes. Mel C, hello. Taryn, just watch OBS. Yes, will do, boss. That's my tech guy, Taryn. Colorado, Scotland. Missouri, Colorado, Slovenia. Ooh, cool. Tennessee, Toledo, Ohio, Glasgow. Cool. Canadian in Scotland. Oh, good lord. Montreal, Denmark, Dominican Republic. Ooh, cool. Jan, oh my god, I've been thinking about you so much recently. I've been since the beginning of the year. I've been meaning to reach out to you, but my life's just been, a shit show, so I haven't had a chance. Atlanta, Denmark, Portugal. Oh, you're all so cool. So, I'll sit here for actually. I'm just going to sit here for a little bit longer and have a look at this. Sydney, Canada, North Carolina, Australia, Vancouver, Leicester, Scotland, Kentucky, Texas. Awesome. Right, already got some people in now. That's good. Oh, very warm all of a sudden. More people from Texas and Florida and North Carolina, Phoenix, Arizona. Oh, all the Americans in tonight. That's cool. Plus people from everywhere, which is even more awesome. So before I launch into anything too much, I'm not going to be here for long. Yes, CD, I am absolutely near a church, and it's Campanology evening, right? Wednesday evening, every Wednesday evening for the last 8 years. Bells on a Wednesday night. So sometimes you can tell what day I've recorded a video because you can hear the bells in the evening in the background. Oh, Trinidad, cool. North Bay, Ontario, Toronto. There's a lot of Canadians in here. I love you all, Canadians. You have my heart. Oh, Hemel Hempstead. That's a bit closer. Love the bells. They'll start up again in a second. They've just stopped. I'm not going to be here for long. That's what I was about to say till I read the bells thing. I am here for an hour maximum. I need to be very disciplined about this because I have news. I have found a house. not only have I found a house, the house has accepted me, and I have paid my deposit, and it's all sorted, and I am moving the day after tomorrow. Oh shit, no, not the day after tomorrow. Saturday. It will be the day after tomorrow. This is very exciting and also quite terrifying. Yes, there's lots of yays in the chat. This is excellent. Because although I've been packing studiously for a year, you know what it's like in that last sort of 2 days where you suddenly realise how the fractal effect that your shit has, and you start packing it and breaking it all down, and it just becomes more and more but smaller, and then you don't really know where to put it, and you don't know what boxes to put it in and stuff like that. I'm actually at that stage right now, so I'm kind of panicking ever so slightly. Sunday and Monday I was like, I've got this is fine, I can do this, and now I'm in moderate anxiety mode. So I have a lot to do between now and, well, I was going to say Saturday morning, but actually, you know, now and all the rest of time pretty much, but specific to the house, I've got a lot to do, and I've not been sleeping much recently, which is really helpful, because there's a lot of things to do, but yes, being that Friday I need to go and pick up the keys, and I need to take all of the children to the house so that they can go and have a fight about who gets which bedroom and whatnot. I've got too much to do in too little time, so I'm being very disciplined about the fact that I will only be here for an hour, and then I'm going to have to go and think of me while I'm slaving away packing things until 2 a.m. tomorrow morning. But house, I mean, people, come on, it's only taken a year. She said, full of gratitude and whatnot. Ooh, there's lots of words going on here. I kind of missed all of this. Do you know what's really quite extraordinary about the whole thing is it's exactly what I've wanted as well, and that I have the eviction was granted on the accelerated pathway, which I find to be extremely distasteful as a process. It meant that I did not get my day in court. Some of you who have seen the "Y'all Must Be New Here" video know that. I think, oh no, I don't think I even mentioned it to you actually. Yeah, so the landlord didn't just go for possession, he went for possession on the accelerated pathway so that I didn't get a chance to give evidence that it was somewhat of a retaliatory eviction, to avoid having to fix any of my stuff, I guess. I think that's the thing. And it was granted. I was given the maximum amount of time that one can have when an eviction is granted, which is 42 days, except that they took 12 days to write me a fucking letter to tell me that I had 42 days. So by the time I found out, it was first couple of days of March, and then I was just like, shit, I need to be out by the end of March, 31st of March, and I had nowhere to go. So bed and breakfast was never going to be acceptable for me and my kids, and there were a couple of other things that I had in mind. None of them ideal, I'll be honest, none of them were ideal, but you know, it was better than sleeping under a bridge somewhere, obviously. And then Tuesday I just went to go and have a look at this house, almost on autopilot as I do this now. Just go and have a look, see it, decide that I like it, put in an application for it, and get told that somebody else has been picked for, you know, whatever. And it wasn't like that at all. They went to referencing in the same day, and I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? And it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. It's a farmhouse. It's in the middle of nowhere. Well, it's not in the middle of nowhere, but it is mostly in the middle of nowhere. It's about 40 minutes north of where I am now, so it's into Northumberland, which is what I wanted. It's down a farm track that's about a quarter of a mile long, so there is no passing traffic. None. Not a bit. There's going to be no more shutting the fucking window in rage, which I am delighted about. I only have 2 neighbours and they're about 800 metres away up the track. Yes, but this is all good. It has a huge garden, which I can put raised beds in and I can grow vegetables, and there's still room for my children to run around like loons and for Silas to run around like a loon, which is amazing. And it's got a big kitchen, which is something that I've wanted for my entire life and never had, which is bizarre for somebody who loves cooking as much as I do. I've always had really shit galley kitchens, you know, and this one here, it's literally 6 feet wide, but it's 24 feet long. What were they thinking when when they made this kitchen? And it's slightly wider at one end and it kind of narrows to a point where the cooker is at the top. So try and have 2 people in the kitchen at the same time. It's absolutely dreadful. Kind of falling over each other and stuff like that. As it was when my son was living here and my ex-husband, like 7 of us all in the same kitchen. It's absolutely absurd. Just didn't work very well. So I have a kitchen that I can put all of my children in, and there'll still be space for Silas to, you know, run rings of death around the edge if he wanted to. Not that he would, because he's not that kind of dog, but sometimes he gets excited and chases the cat, you know. So have a look at some of this. I've lost like this closet kitchen. Exactly right, Sheena Marie Alchemy. It's kind of like an endlessly long closet. Kind of like Narnia-esque closet, but without the, you know, Narnia at the other end, which is a bit unfortunate. I would have quite liked that. Oh my god. Oh, bless you, Judy. Thank you. That's really, really kind of you. I really appreciate that. It's really, really generous. Foul body autopsy. Yes, that is church bells. Oh. CD, I'm moving about 40 minutes north of here, so I'm going from close to Newcastle to further away from Newcastle, but moving up north, which is good. Oh my god, Julie, is it Bella Chicho? I'm sorry if I've pronounced your name wrong. I really hate that when people pronounce my name wrong, and it happens all the time. I wish you could help you. Honestly, I wish I could get a fleet of you in to give me a hand, because it's been intense. Because right up until Friday, up until last Tuesday, I literally thought I was having to pack everything I owned into containers and then just take a suitcase to, you know, where the children and I would be staying until we found a house. And then from Tuesday to Friday there was kind of the hope that actually this is going to happen and this is going to work and this is going to be great, and then I got confirmation on Friday and I was like, oh, okay. And then when looking at when I could actually have this happen, when we could actually move, the only weekend was this weekend coming, and I was like, this is cool, I can turn this around in a week. And then, you know, several hours later I was like, what have I done? What have I done? No, actually, it's pretty sorted. I actually just need to go around and just close loads of boxes, and I think that'll make the difference. So that's all good. Melissa Vandenberg, time for a nice cathartic purge. That's exactly what's been happening, actually. I've done about 50 fucking I've done about 4, but I filled my Land Rover completely to the gills with stuff kind of like next to my head while I'm trying to drive it and stuff, and got rid of loads of things. Lots and lots of things. The top floor of the house is completely clear now, apart from the twins have got 2 mattresses on the floor, which I think is a tremendous adventure at the moment, because, you know, they're not in a bed and they're 9 years old, and I think this is like tip top. So apart from that and their clothes, I think the top floor is completely clear, and I've just been sort of carting everything down to the lower floor, so it looks like a bomb site downstairs. Silas has been following me around. I'm sure he thinks I've completely flipped my biscuits, Because he's following me around and going, what are you doing now? Why are you pulling all that out of there? Now all of the things that were nice and tidy in the cupboards are on the floor. Why would you do this? He's been very supportive, as he always is, whenever I do anything. But he's really quite confused, I can tell. He's never moved house, so, you know, he's always lived here. He's going to love it. He's going to love the new house. Absolutely. But it's been a real 11th hour reprieve, like, for sure. I can't believe quite how this has happened. It really ran it to the wire, I think. Let's roll down here. Oh, hello Sandy Troll, welcome. So I wanted to talk to you all because, like, not only did I want to share this news because, you know, most of you have been with me for this journey that has taken a year and has been, frankly, quite trying. The whole period has been really quite trying, and some bits have been awful. I think those bits where I lost faith entirely, they've been awful. And I wanted to thank you all for being so tremendously supportive and not judging me on my wall. I love you all for that. But also by way of a kind of potential apology in advance, because I may not be able to get the mid-month readings up for April. I'm going to try, but I do need to give a couple of rooms in the farmhouse a lick of paint, and I do need to unpack as well, which hopefully won't take nearly as long as packing did, because I don't want to spend a year doing that. That would be awful. Yes, and as much as I would wish that that I could have something to upload so that I could stay friends with the algorithm. Honestly, battling the YouTube algorithm is the most appalling thing. It's like, it's relentless. If you do not upload weekly, preferably at the same time of day on the same day every week, then the algorithm just goes, oh, well, you're a piece of shit, we're not going to show your video to anyone. And it takes months of consistency to get it to that point, but I really do need to take at least a couple of weeks, I think, to try and put my house literally in order. Love a Scorpio, yes, I am so glad to be getting out of this mouldy pit too. Like 100%. Like, I was up in the top room today, which actually has just been storing boxes for a while, but I've emptied it all out, and the wallpaper was starting to drop in one corner when the council came to do the inspection, after which they did I tell you about this? I don't know if I did tell you about this. So I called the council and I asked them to come out and look at the house, and they did, and they issued an improvement notice to the landlord, which is kind of a big deal, because if he does not adhere to it in a very, very short period of time, he can be prosecuted, which is, I imagine, rather focusing for the mind. Anyway, when they were here, I showed her this bit of wallpaper that was falling down, presumably because the wall behind it was damp, but I kind of poked it today, and it's not the wallpaper that's come down, it's actually the ceiling is starting to come down behind it, and I was like, oh, pretty glad I don't have a child in this room anymore. Instead of repairing the roof like he was supposed to, they've actually just fiberglassed it in places, and he's gone from being like a super landlord, which he managed for about a week, and a lot of it just seemed to involve him turning up randomly, which really pissed me off, because I'd only ever met the man once, and that was when I actually looked around this house, and so to have him just turning up when there was also this like pending legal action, and he was fucking evicting me as well, it seemed like a bit of a power move, and I didn't appreciate that very much. Life path 8, I don't appreciate people swinging their dick around at me. Not in this case anyway. And And yeah, he's gone from trying to be super landlord to nothing at all. Oh my God, you amazing people, what are you doing? Bless you. Ellie Zen, thank you so much. Judy Menzel, oh, you're so kind. You are all so kind. And like, I could not have done this without you. Like, after I did the Y'all Must Be New Here video, like, I was absolutely overwhelmed with people sending me donations, and you've no idea how much it helped. Like, it helped to the degree that I actually would not have had the money to be able to pay for the house had you not sent me this, and I am humble beyond measure that you all kind of energetically ahead of time seem to know. And you know, the money just sat in the bank account, and then it was there when I needed it, and now I am able to do this. So it is in no small part, you know, down to you lot, and I very, very much appreciate all of your help with everything. And I just love the bones of you all. I think that you know that, you know, I think that you all know that. I hope so, at least. I'm so excited. I can't even tell you. Oh my God, I've got new people joining as well. Oh, Donna, hello. There you are. I see you. Oh, Janice Johnson, like, I do worry about the readings. That's the thing, you know. And it's not. Do you know? It's not even about the algorithm. It's partly about the algorithm, but it's. I don't like being flaky, and I feel like I'm being flaky even though I've got a really good excuse not to do the readings. I still feel like I'm being a bit flaky, which is really, really annoying, but you know, it is what it is. Oh, thank you, Karen. I really, really appreciate it. Goodbye, Bug of Eternal Stench. I like the reference. Love it. Big fans of the Labyrinth here in this house. Thankfully, it doesn't actually smell too much. It's just unpleasant. And the plaster's all starting to fall off the wall now. I think once I've moved, so here's the thing. I go, like, my brain's just kind of flitting around everywhere, right? But you remember I said I was seeing the landlord. Well, I'm not going to get into that because it's still an ongoing thing. But I put together a project with photos of all the questionable bits of the house. That runs to 263 pages of photos. And so what I was going to say was, once I've moved, I will I'll put a couple of pictures on Instagram and you can see what the rest of the house looks like and see why that bit was just like not really a thing. Let's see, I'm not being flaky. I do worry about being flaky a lot. Probably not at a time when it's relevant, but I do worry about that. Farquhar Lion Trousers the Third. I have got a house. That's what's happening. Those are the haps. And so I've jumped on here briefly because I'm moving on Saturday, and after Saturday I won't have any internet for a good couple of weeks, I think. I checked out the broadband situation and it is dire through the landline. So I'm probably going to look at like 4G broadband. It looks like it's a better option, faster and, you know, just better generally. And obviously I'm going to need that if I'm able to do not only upload stuff but actually do personal readings and things like that, because, you know, I want to do that. I enjoy doing that, so I want to do that more. I'm going to be kind of offline for a couple of weeks, so Tula, I should do that, really. I should. But I'm sometimes a little bit, you know, I would say flaky, but actually I don't know if it's like the ADHD or what, the autism. Like sometimes I just can't do it. It might just be an energy worker thing, right? You know, when you're trying to do something and you're just not feeling it, it's hard. And, you know, doesn't matter how, if you try and force it, it feels like you're trying to force it, and then it's not right. Like the authenticity isn't there, because it's forced. So, oh my God, what are you doing? CD, thank you so much. Claudia Colodro. I thought it said Colorado there for a second. It says Colodro. And Coffee Lover, thank you. You are all extraordinarily generous human beings. I just don't know how to thank you all. I really don't. You're just fucking brilliant. You're amazing. You know, and all the messages, and I had messages on Instagram, I had emails, I had people sending me messages on Patreon as well, and I just haven't had a chance to respond to any of those after the You All Must Be New Here video. Like, just the messages of support, incredible, like absolutely blown over. And did you know, like, I recorded that video and then I almost didn't release it, actually. Because I didn't know if I was being all a bit egoic. I do worry about that a lot as well. I think it's because I'm a Leo on Life Path 8, and I worry about, you know, kind of being a little bit forceful about things sometimes. And so it was actually sat in the content bit of the YouTube studio for like 2 days. And my partner went, "Why haven't you released that one?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know if I'm going to yet." And he was, "Why not?" He said, "Why not?" And I said, "I don't know if I'm being a little bit like much on that one." And he said, "I think you should just release it. I haven't even watched it, and I think you should release it." And I was like, "Okay." And so then I just pressed release, and I literally ran away from the laptop then for about 3 hours and didn't go back to it at all. I just didn't even want to see what was going on with it. Oh my God, bless you. Sean, thank you so much. Jomo74 and Celine, thank you. Like, you're amazing. You're all amazing. I'm just this like slightly nutty and weird woman who comes and talks to herself in the turret and then uploads the recording of herself doing it. When you put it like that, it makes my job sound really, really strange. I love it though. Oh. Could I give you a description? Oh, Judy, absolutely, I can. A verbal description of the new place. So you go down a farm track, and it's a proper farm track, right? So there was a couple who were coming to see it directly after me. They actually turned up while I was still there. And they turned up in a Mini. And the chap was complaining very, very loudly about his suspension. So I thought, oh, that's good. They're probably not going to want this very much then. Obviously, I've got a Land Rover. I just loved it. It was bouncy stuff. And that's about a quarter of a mile out of the village. And then you turn right off this farm track, and it's a long drive, and the house is just sat on its own at the end of the long drive, and there's a gate, and you go through that, and then the drive is a bit longer still from there. And there's outbuildings everywhere. It's garden to 3 sides, and it looks like it's secure enough for me to be able to just bundle Silas straight outside. I will check it on Friday though, just to make sure he doesn't end up in the sea, because we don't want that. And sometimes he is a bit of a potato. He's got out a couple of times and he just tends to dance around in the middle of roads. And luckily he's quite a distinctive dog, so everybody knows where he belongs and brings him back. But the last time was when the back gate blew down because of the winds that we had it was about 2 months ago, something like that. So yes, it's stone. It's got a little it's a little conservatory, but it's like a little wooden conservatory on the back, but the rest of it is all stone. And you kind of go in through the conservatory, and the front door is around the side, but you wouldn't use the front door, I don't think. So you walk in through this little conservatory, and then you've got a big kitchen, and it's got an Arga. I've got an Arga. I can't believe I've got an Arga. This is absolute madness. I've always wanted an Arga. Yeah, and the kitchen's huge. And there was this funny little cupboard thing, and I thought, oh, there's a latchkey cupboard. Obviously good for storing all your stuff in. And I looked around the rest of the house, and like from the kitchen it goes into a boot room over here, and then there's a little corridor through to a little utility room, and then there's a kind of a little shower room on the end there, and then there's a corridor that brings you back into the kitchen, and then from there there's a hallway, and there's 2 reception rooms down there. So one will be the library and the other one will be the living room, and then you go upstairs. And once you go upstairs, my son found some secret stairs. Well, they're not that secret when you're upstairs, but the secret from downstairs. It's this tiny, tiny little staircase that looks like it's been made for children that goes down from the main landing, and it pops out into the kitchen through that door that I thought was a cupboard. Like there's almost not enough room for me to go down the stairs, and I'm not particularly wide. Like my son managed it easily, but I mean he's 9 and built like a racing snake, but it was a bit tight for me. And it pops out into the kitchen, which is absolutely magnificent. Yeah, and then there are 5 bedrooms upstairs, like 4 decent sized bedrooms and 1 tiny little box room. But it is enough to house the brood, which is awesome. And then if you come back downstairs into the kitchen, through into the boot room, then outside is a massive garden. It's a huge garden, and it's got 3 or 4 big trees in it. And my son went zooming off to the top of the garden and then zoomed back again, and he went, I really like this. And I was like, oh, me too, son, me too. It looks like it's pretty sheltered from the wind as well. So my plan is to buy a fire pit and some chairs so that I can go and sit in the back garden and stare at the sky, stare at the stars in the evening with crackling wood and stuff like that. It's absolutely perfect. And I can get some raised beds in, so I can start growing my food properly, which was one of the things that was really high up on the list of desired characteristics of new house. I'm going to get some chickens as well, although I think the family seem to want ducks, but we might start with chickens and see how we go. I would love a duck, several ducks, but yeah, that's the plan. So there's the verbal description. I'm going to put some pictures up for the patrons on Friday, and so I imagine something might make its way onto Instagram at some point as well, but no, I promised the patrons pictures, so I will do that. Let me catch up with your things. Oh, hello Jason, good to see you. It is a magical house. I'm actually delighted with it, really delighted with how magical it is. Oh, God, I just love the idea of being able to fit everybody in the kitchen at once. The kitchen's almost bigger than the living room, so it's like the kitchen will be the hub, I think, and that's great because I love making bread and all that sort of thing, and I like people chatting at me while I'm doing things. Oh, what's going on here? Elsie, thank you so much. I really hope it's going to be the beginning of a wonderful phase. I really do, because this last year it's been really educational. Actually, I've learned a lot, and on reflection I can see why I needed to wait. No, I can't see why I had to wait so long, but I'm grateful for what I've learned in the interim, and I don't know how I could have learned those things without having been put into this position of such discomfort, protracted discomfort that had to stay here for a long time, you know. So for that I'm very, very grateful. Yeah, but I'm glad for the children as much as anything else, because I know at the very least my very youngest daughter has been extremely concerned with the instability, and she has completely relaxed again now, which is amazing. You know, it's an adventure now. It's not terrifying, not, you know, and I tried my best not to have her worry about it being terrifying, but she was worrying nonetheless, and now she's not worrying, so it's really, really good. What do I do that makes you laugh every time I do something in a reading? word out. I swear I laugh every time, so Carrie do that in the reading. Is it me like shouting at the window, or just rallying at God for the amount of noise that's coming past my house at any given point? Oh God, let me share something else with you that I have discovered, right? And it's totally rocked my fucking world. Like, as in, my sense of my own identity has just like completely fallen out of a window, right? And this is something that's had me like trying to process exactly what this means. I decided that I would go and see how deaf I was. So I booked a proper hearing test with a place in Newcastle. I was like, I just want you to give me a baseline of how deaf I am, because I thought it might be quite useful for the future, so I could keep an eye on it and see if it keeps degenerating. Right, and if it's going slow or fast or whatever, right? It just kind of establish a baseline, because I was interested. And I did it. And then she went through the results with me, and she said, "You're borderline." And I went, "What do you mean borderline?" She was like, "You're borderline normal." And I went, "What?" I said, "But I can't hear anything. I'm as deaf as a post." And she said, "This is the thing. Your brain thinks you're deaf, but your ears are functioning like kind of borderline normal." And I was like, "I don't understand. I really don't understand what." She said, "You've got auditory processing disorder." And I was like, "I've got what now?" And she said it's really common with people who have had lost their hearing temporarily when they were children. Between the ages of 0 and about 10, your auditory system is still developing, and if you lose your hearing during that time, your brain loses a really important part of of its development, basically. She said it cannot process sound properly. It does not know what sound means. And she said, and it's quite difficult to distinguish between sounds as well. So, particularly when there's lots of noises going on in the same environment. Because I did go deaf when I was a child, and it was about 2 years, really. She said, "You absolutely fit all of the criteria for that." She said, "So the thing is, you're not deaf, but basically you're deaf." And I was like, "But I'm not deaf." And she was like, "No." And I was like, "But basically I am deaf." And she was like, "Yes." And I was like, "I'm really confused." Brains are amazing, but why is mine broken? And she was like, "Well, for that reason that I just said." And I was like, "Wow, okay." I was like, "Can I fix that then?" And she was like, "There are some exercises that you can do that might help, but basically, to all intents and purposes, you are deaf." And I was like, "Right." So this, like, a huge part of my identity, which is only really known to people who spend any kind of time with me, IRL, isn't a thing, but is a thing, but isn't a thing. And that was quite confusing. It sort of blew my mind for a little bit. For a full 24 hours, I was like, wow, my ears they're not fucked. It's just my brain. Yeah, so there you go. That was really interesting. I failed my deaf test. Jason is such a... I had literally never heard of it before a week Monday, just gone. Like, I didn't even know that it was a thing. Apparently it's really, really common with people who are on the spectrum as well, which is fascinating to me. The audiologist sent me through a whole, like, heap of stuff over email when she sent the official report through for me to read. I had literally no idea, but it explains an awful lot. It does explain a lot. It actually probably explains more than if I was actually deaf, if I actually had issues with my ears. So I'm really, really sensitive to some sorts of noises, but then I can literally hear fuck all in other things as well. Speech is something that is particularly difficult for me to discern, which is why I lip read a lot. Oh, concerned you had the same test in December. Yeah, it was nuts. Bone girl, I could have told you that. Yeah. my daughter and I have this running joke that we don't have brains, we have Brians, and it comes from her having like mistyped brain once when she was talking to somebody. She said, oh, my brain is broken, but she wrote my Brian is broken, and since then we were like, well, we don't have brains, we have Brians. They're like brains, just not as good. A thing. So, oh yes, AB, absolutely. The Phoenix will be behind me in the readings. I'm already plotting and sitting in the window of what will be the library in the new place, and the Phoenix will definitely be perched there. It's can't do my readings without the Phoenix there. That would be too weird. Oh goodness, what is this? Oh, Rudiger, thank you, and Lily, and the Irish priestess. Like, you're all so kind. Like, I cannot tell you how awesome you all are. You make me feel all emotional and shit. Oh, let's have a look. Let's see what it says. Mary Midgley, I move on Saturday, which is why I'm on here now. Like I said, I'm just jumping on for an hour just to let you know what's going on, because I shan't have any internet for at least a week, possibly 2, and I possibly, more likely than not, will not have the time to record and upload the mid-month reading. So I will try. I will actually try. I don't know if that's me just being ridiculous, but I will try. But yes, it was sort of by way of explaining to you all face to face exactly why it is I'm going to disappear for a little bit, and why this is a good thing, because we've been waiting for this for a while. Mary Midgley, yeah, how about that? I get the keys on Friday during the Virgo full moon. I picked them up on Friday. It wasn't lost on me that. Irish priestess, thank you so much. That's so kind of you. I think my daughter had a bit of a meltdown a couple of weeks ago. She was just like, I'm so sad, you don't deserve any of this, like, it's not fair. And I was like, it's okay, like, it's not about deserving or not deserving. We just we take experience as it comes, and then we take it from there and trust that it will take us somewhere better. And she was cross. She was like, she's very protective. And then suddenly, in one day, it all just kind of spun on a sixpence. The whole thing. It was nuts. Very, very welcome, but nuts. Virgo power indeed, Ellie. Yeah, Kelly. So the eviction has me actually needing to be out of the house by the 31st. And initially they'd said could start the tenancy from the 23rd, but then the letting agent emailed me and said, like, if you want, we can start it a bit earlier if you would like. And I was like, oh. And then we looked at the practicalities of it, when my partner would be around, because he's got stuff on a lot of weekends, when we could get a van, when we could do all these sorts of things. And it really was just this weekend, and I was like, yeah, okay, we'll do that. And I would say right up until about Tuesday I was like, this is fine, I've got this. And then today has just gone by in a flash, and I'm like, fuck, it's Saturday. I've still got loads and loads of things to do. Pulled all my camping stuff out of the outhouse, and I've got to hoover it all, because it's covered in like dead spiders and stuff, which is quite horrid and whatnot. But it'd be read. Michelle Bustamante, yeah, I am absolutely found a place for all my books to be. I'm not sure. The library's probably a bit smaller than this room, or maybe it's about the same size without the turret. But there's a whacking great radiator on one of the walls, which is not particularly useful for putting books in front of, bookcases in front of. So that I might have to spread my bookcases out around the house a little bit. Or maybe we just like spread into the living room as well, something like that. Yeah, Jason, you are absolutely right. He's kind of running scared a little bit, the landlord, at the moment. As I say, I'm not going to talk about it too much just yet because it's still very much in under negotiation. Let's put it that way. Susie, what you mean like this? For fuck's sake, like that. You'll get that because I've been recording the April readings, knowing that I'm not going to have any internet after Saturday. I forgot my days there for a second. I've been furiously trying to get all the April readings done so that I don't miss out a huge lump of reading. I've done all of these ones so far, so I'll tell you who I've done so far. I have done Leo, Capricorn, Scorpio, Gemini, what are you? Oh, Aquarius, Cancer, Taurus and Aries so far. I just have these 4 left to do here. I'm hoping to get these done tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning and Friday sometime. Those are going to have to happen so that they're all done. And before I lose my internet entirely on Saturday. But the gas board have been digging up the fucking pavement out the front of the house. So I can assure you there is much foul language and rolling of eyes and slamming of windows going on. And in fact, at one point, actually having apologised, pause the video, fuck off and do something else for 40 minutes because they got a pneumatic drill out and they were thudding the pavement outside. So yeah, it's a kind of farewell to the turret thing. I think what I might do, I don't know if this replay is going to save. It might do. I have a watercolour picture that's hanging up on the landing of the house, actually, of the turret and everything from outside, from just down there, and I might take a picture of it and upload it as a thumbnail for this, and we'll call it Farewell to the Turret or something instead of just a Scorch Earth Tarot live stream, which is kind of dull, right? Let's have a look. Oh, Susie, I'm hoping that everybody will be done, absolutely. And I can tell you, I did Taurus and Aries today. Taurus is an excellent one. Like, from a spiritual perspective, I really, really approve of what is going on with Taurus right now. That's excellent. Aries, also excellent. I can't remember the others because they were not today. I don't remember one being awful and me thinking, God, how am I going to put this in a nice way that isn't going to upset people? There's nothing like that. There's lots of newness in all of the readings, and I don't know if it's because spring is coming and energetically, you know, it's that time of renewal. It's about new stuff starting off. Possibly might be something to do with it. But there are lots of those sorts of themes and a lot of uptick in energy for everyone. So for the patrons, I'm going to release those, what day are we on, Wednesday? I think they'll all be released on Friday. And they'll be able to come over and have a look at the unlisted video before it's released. For the rest of you, they'll come out over next week. So that's the plan, at least. Call it Neptune has released me. I don't know, maybe. Oh, hello, Sharon. Nice to see you. Hello. Like this. Jemima Puddle Duck. Yeah, so I didn't know I was going live. I kind of had a vague idea that I wanted to do a live stream at some point this week, and initially I'd wanted to do it Monday night, and then before I knew it, I just got overwhelmed with, I can't even remember what I was doing Monday night. I was fucking balls deep in some sort of house packing related thing anyway. And then I was like, oh shit, I didn't do that. And then I realised that I didn't have OBS on my laptop, and I needed OBS on my laptop. I needed my daughter to sort that out. And then last night, what was I doing last night? I was just lumping things around, sorting out the downstairs kitchen and things like that. And I was like, right, tomorrow I've got my numerology class, which I'm going to miss the next 2 weeks or so, or maybe 1 week, maybe 2 weeks. So I really want to save Thursday for that. And Friday night, I'll have the keys by then, so I'll probably do a load or two. The children are going to their father's for the weekend, so that I've got kind of free space without the twins being around. So I will probably just shuttle a couple of loads of things, just fill up the car, put the seats down, and then shuttle some stuff up ahead of Saturday. Maybe 1 trip, maybe 2 trips, depends how spicy I'm feeling. Maybe the sensible thing would be to go to sleep and be fresh for Saturday, but not always terribly sensible when it comes to managing my energy. I'll have to flog myself until I collapse. Rob Sullivan, thank you so much. That's really, really kind of you. Is that some legs? I'm not sure. I'm trying to decode your emojis there. That's really interesting. No, Jemima, it doesn't feel like Leah's just going to shit. It does feel like it's much, much more positive. But there's a certain... I had the same trouble in the reading. I was trying to think of a word that was like stoic, but wasn't. I think it's grace. I'm almost certain that's the word that I came up with in the reading as well. It's sort of grace in the face of all the challenging things that are going on, to just accept them and have the courage to change what you can and the grace to accept what you can't, like that kind of energy. MK, thank you. That is really, really kind of you. I really appreciate everybody's generosity. I'm Marcy, so great to see you live. I love a message. I'm not doing messages this evening. I am actually going to have to fly shortly so that I can carry on. Sorting out late. I mean, look at this. I don't know. My webcam's taking 1,000,000 years to fucking catch up, so I can't even see what you can see. I'll wait for it. There we go. That's caught up. It's just disaster back there. You should see what the living room looks like. It's insane at the moment. I've got... I'm actually at this point finding it really inconvenient that I need to go to sleep, because I'd get a lot more done if I didn't. Not that I'm sleeping much, but those extra 5 hours could probably help me really get ahead of the curve. Rob Sullivan, I do. Oh, do you know what? It's me being fucking blind. It's champagne glasses. It looked like legs. I don't know if it's because it was on a black background or what. Jason, yes ma'am, I hear you. I absolutely hear you. I will send you some pictures, my love. Donna, it's June. It's June. I'm going to be well ready for that, I think. By then I'll have had a couple of months to settle in to the new house. I'm very, very excited about that too. Very excited. Oh, Sandy, thank you. That's really kind of you. I have an awful lot to be grateful for. I really do. And at the moment, I'm just a little bit too busy to fully appreciate it. But really, after a year of... is there a better way to sum up this last year than just... I think probably not. And getting in my own way and kind of putting my life on hold and doing all of these things. What's really come through more than anything else is that you only really have now. And yeah, you should be sensible about some things and plan some things, but ultimately living now is the important thing. And everything else can kind of be fitted in where it needs to go. That's what I've learned in this last year. And I feel like everything started moving when I really got the fuck out of my own way, as I needed to do. And so hopefully this is the start of me living an existence where I'm not in my own fucking way, which would be nice. Would be really nice. Oh, Michelle, like, honestly, I'm not asking anyone for anything. I don't expect anyone to send money. I think I'm blown away that people do, but it's not something that I expect. And you know that I love you all. I am here for you, for the reason of being here for you. It's like having the biggest fucking family in the world, and I couldn't be happier about that. You know that. And it's why it's such a fucking joy when I actually get to meet you finally face to face, especially when I've done live streams and I recognise somebody's name and then they turn up in a personal reading. I'm like, wow, fuck, I can finally put a face to the name. That's cool. I love that. Oh, Woolly Hermit, a Crone's Intuition. Yes, I know Nancy. She's always actually turned up in all of my live readings. She's quite active on Instagram. I think I've spoken to her a lot on Instagram as well. Not that I've been anywhere near social media properly since when, I don't know. I feel like I kind of stepped back from Instagram in about October. Maybe it's even earlier, and I think I've only maybe uploaded 2 or 3 pictures since then. And I should sort that out because I've met some extraordinary people on Instagram, and I love it when I see the same names popping up again and again. Oh, let's see. Jemima, you got a new home back home too. Top 5 of the biggest mistakes you've made so far. You're gonna have to elaborate on that a little bit. Bone Girl, I appreciate that. I really do. I really do. It's something I'm still trying to get my head around, is the fact that people care, which is a really stupid thing to admit to, but it's actually kind of true. So I'm just going to say it anyway. Kasana Chance, I just appeared out of nowhere. No, not really. I've been around here I've been here at least 2.5 years, kind of bumbling about. Let's see. Donna, I would love to hear all the craziness that's been happening. I did actually, I was thinking about you this morning, just before I uploaded the video to Patreon to give you all an update. And I thought it was funny that I hadn't had one of your 20-page emails in quite a while, and that there must be things going on, because there's always stuff going on with you. And kind of feeling a little bit out of the loop, actually. So I'm going to have to get caught up with you. Michael, that is so kind of you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Holy shit. You're also incredible. I'm so happy as well. Like, I can't tell you. Even Silas, I keep looking at Silas and thinking, I promised you a garden, and now you're finally going to get your garden. Big dog. And you can just go outside and play with the chickens. I actually wanted to get some ducks just so that he had something to mother, because he's such a mother. He's a Cancer, though. And you can tell, because he's such a nurturing dog. Like, he's just so tuned into everyone. And he counts all the people in. And he's really, really happy. Like, every morning when people come downstairs, like, he comes and greets them. And if, say, like, my middle daughter sometimes doesn't appear until mid-afternoon, and he gets really, really excited because he hasn't seen her all day, it's like, welcome to the downstairs. It's really sweet. And I just thought it would be the most wonderful thing if I got some ducks, or some duck eggs, and hatched them and let them imprint on Silas, and then they could just follow him around, and he could mother them. And I think his life would be complete. I don't think he'd find a happier dog anywhere on the planet. Which is ridiculous, because he's huge. Big, huge wolf dog, but he's just at his happiest when he's kind of, mothering stuff of people and animals. He doesn't really care. He saved a mouse from one of the cats once. Actually picked it up in his mouth and went and lay down away from the cat. And wouldn't let the cat have it. Which is funny because the lizard eats dead rodents, and he never did the same thing. He understood the difference between dead and alive, and when they're dead they're low-key food, and when they're alive they just have the right to be alive and not be eaten by cats, which is, I think, pretty sophisticated thinking for a dog. Oh, Jemima, that's so sweet. Yeah, Silas is really, really sweet, Don. He's just an amazing dog. Oh, Donna, excellent. I really hope not to be away for long. As soon as I get the internet up and running, then I will, and I need to have a certain amount of structure when it comes to this and what I do with this anyway. So, oh my God, excuse me, I just like a chug of tea burp there. As soon as that's done, as soon as I am able, then I will be straight back. Shan't be gone for long. Like, it'd be too weird. Or it'd be like leaving all my family behind. I just couldn't do it. Catherine, I will upload myriad pictures to Instagram of Silas running around the garden like a loon, I'm sure, and investigating every tiny little blade of grass and whatnot. Like, I cannot wait. It's weird how the small things really get you. Just this idea of being able to open the back door and just let Silas out, and just let the kids out, it is making me happier more than anything else in the world right now. Just let them just run around in the middle of nowhere where it's quiet. Like, it's brilliant. Oh, Brian, thank you. Honestly, like, I don't know what to do with myself when you lot are all so generous like this. I don't know how to receive it other than to say thank you and hope that in some way, in some tiny way, I'm conveying just how touched I am by all of this, but then worrying that perhaps I'm not, and perhaps I should do it more, but then I don't want it to come across as insincere, and then I get all kind of stuck in my head about it because my brain's broken. As we have established this evening. Oh, thank you, Lisa Murray. I appreciate that. Oh. Kim, you'd love to be able to help me promote to build my subscribers. I mean, if you would like to do that, that's totally up to you. I think my approach to my YouTube channel and pretty much everything is kind of holistic. Like, I just sort of turn up and I say things, and then sometimes mention that I've got a Patreon and things like that, and then I kind of scurry away again. That's pretty much the extent of my self-promotion. I'm not very good at it. Yeah, I don't know. It was Perfect House came at literally the perfect time. Like, literally. It was so weird. I could even called the local, the place where self-storage, there we go, that's what I was looking for, to try and hire another container, because I thought I'd have to put literally everything that I own into there. And they were supposed to send me a quote that I was then going to accept, and then they would take payment. Like, it's a very straightforward process that I had done several times already, and the quote just didn't come, and it was supposed to come Tuesday morning, and it just didn't come, and instead I went to see this house, and it still hasn't come to date, and it was almost like it wasn't necessary, and the universe knew it wasn't necessary, so there's no point in cluttering up my inbox with a quote. Anna Gray, I hope you hear chickens. I really like chickens. I kept chickens years ago when I lived in Yorkshire, when the oldest two were really young, and I think they're great for kids, actually. I think having kids growing up around animals is a really good thing anyway. But there's something really meditative about watching chickens. It sounds ridiculous. I've many a time I've sat and kind of whiled away an hour just watching them kind of scratching around and pecking in the dirt and just zoning out watching chickens. And chicken noises. I'm quite happy for countryside noises to occur. I just don't want any traffic or people shouting. I get a lot of people just basically standing underneath my window just yelling, and it's so... it feels abrasive. It feels very abrasive to me. I don't like that very much. And it's not helped by the fact that for some reason in this area nobody speaks to each other. Everybody hollers as if they were on the other side of the street, and they're not. They're literally standing a foot away from each other, and I don't understand. But then that might just be my auditory processing disorder making it louder than it is. I don't know. I genuinely don't know now. Who knows? Chickens help brain. Oh my god, you're prescribing me chickens. That's insane and brilliant, and I love it. Funnily enough, the psychologist, after my brain injury, I told you about how I tried to play Minecraft with my kids, and I just kept falling into ravines, and my middle daughter had to keep coming up with ingenious ways of rescuing me, and I fell into the quicksand quite a lot, and I lost my chocobo in the quicksand. And I said, this is really upsetting, because I used to like playing Minecraft with the kids, and I used to be quite good at it, and we used to mission around together. And she said, you should play it more. And I said, what? And she said, anything that you used to be able to do that you can't do as well anymore, you should do it. I said, are you prescribing me Minecraft? And she said, yes, I am. And I was like, wow, that's cool. As it happened, I haven't actually played it in yonks because I was busy doing other things, but yeah. No, I'm not smoking ganja. I'm just smoking good old-fashioned Cutter's Choice tobacco. This is not an advert, but it's just what I smoke. Although I'm feeling like I should give up soon, because, you know, it's past time. I think it's really past time. I made a promise to myself when I was 16 that if I was still smoking when I was 30, I would just give up on my 30th birthday. And then my 30th birthday arrived, and I was like, well, so maybe just give it another year or so. And then before I knew it, I was 40, and now I'm 42 this year, and I'm still smoking, and that seems like I'm kind of taking the piss with that vow that I made to my younger self, so I should probably stop that sometime soon, I think. You think you love me, J.R. Colgan? Oh, that's sweet. I love you too. Vicky, I was just thinking that myself. I haven't heard it called ganja in forever. Yeah, right. I do smoke rollies, so John Swanson, you wanted to send me a way better tobacco. Do you know what I found? It's really awful, actually. I found that the most amazing combination is Cutter's Choice tobacco cigarettes with chaga tea with licorice root in it. Like, the two things are just made to go together, and I really, really enjoy it. And it's probably a reason why I should stop, because otherwise I should just smoke until I, fall down dead with some sort of lung-related disorder. Oh. Hello, Holly. Nice to see you. Tobacco is spirit medicine. Oh, shit. No, you haven't told me that. This is another reason not to give up. I was a pretty professional smoker. Right, my darlings, it is 9:10, and I did say that I was only going to stay here for an hour because of the absolutely overwhelming amount of stuff that I need to do before Saturday morning. Well, before Friday morning, actually. So I'm going to have to bounce away. Farewell to the turret. Definitely the last live stream that's ever going to happen in the turret. Although the April readings will still appear to be as if I am in the turret, because I have been recording them this week. So you have a little bit more time with them. And the broken mouldy plaster and whatnot, but I am going to have to go. So keep yourselves out of trouble and all that while I'm gone. I will endeavour not to be gone for long. And like I said, apologies if you've sent me an email or you sent me a message or anything in the last 2 weeks. Like literally since the beginning of March, I have barely looked at my phone. I have barely looked at my laptop. I have just been kind of flat out, completely flat out doing this. So I will endeavour as I get the internet back to catch up with all of your messages on whatever platform they've been sent, and acknowledge you all properly as I should. But think of me like absolutely iron on Saturday, being like, what the fuck am I doing? I hate moving house, you know. It's literally my most hated thing. After death of a loved one, I think I'd rather get divorced 50 times over than move house. It's such a fixed sign thing to say, isn't it? It's true though. Oh, look at all those hearts. Well, I love you all so much. Let's have a look. Michelle, that's absolutely right. I literally can walk around, run around half naked if I want to. Silas might find it a little strange. I think the children would probably find it stranger, actually. I think Mum's finally lost the plot properly, like we always knew she was going to. But you know, if I wanted to do it, I can, and that is tremendously liberating, even just the thought of it. So I hope I will get healthier out there, Judy. I intend to spend an awful lot more time outside than I have done in the last 2 years. I'm sick of I just needed some outdoor space of our own, you know, as even the kids don't really like going to the park because nobody plays nicely there. So it's going to be nice for them to be able to play outside and whatnot. And you know, hopefully I'll be able to do a proper live sometime soon. Hopefully maybe before the month is out, and I won't be able to walk you around the house. I think that will get a bit too much with internet signal and stuff like that, but I can certainly introduce you to the new surroundings, and that would be very, very exciting. Yes, I'm going to have to go and I'll have to work out how the fuck I start this live stream, because I set it up on OBS and I literally don't know how to make this happen. Shit. Okay, right. I don't know what I'm doing, so I might just sort of stare gormlessly at the screen for a little bit and click randomly until I work out how to turn this off. But thank you so much for turning up, and particularly with absolutely no notice at all. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you for sharing in my good news. I am so happy that you're my 4 of 1's crew, you know, aside from my family and my partner. You are literally my 4 of 1's crew. So when something really cool happens, you are the people that I want to share it with, and here you are, look, you all turned up, which is incredible. So I shall leave it there. Good night to you all. I hope you have an enjoyable rest of your day, whatever you are doing, whether that day is, as it is for me, 2 hours and 45 minutes long, or you've got the rest of the day stretching out in front of you. Oh, Ellie, thank you. It's really kind. Bless you. Take care, and I will see you hopefully before too long. Alright, now I've got to work out how to stop this stream. Oh my god. Alright, love you all. Take care.